Welcome back to the lecture series in Python. In this video, we are going to learn about sets. Sets are nothing but collection of unique elements. So we will say that a set is a data structure which is not going to accept any duplicate. And every element in the set is immutable. That means if you consider individual elements in the set, we cannot make any changes to those elements. Whereas the entire set is mutable. That means we can add elements to the set and we can even remove elements from the existing set. And set is said to be unordered collection. So here, whenever we are adding elements to the set, it is not going to maintain any definite order. So we cannot refer the elements by means of the index. And set is a iterable data structure. We can access all the elements in the set one by one. And sets are written within curly brace. Now let's see how to create a set. We cannot create an empty set with help of empty curly braces because empty curly braces will try to make an empty dictionary in Python, not an empty set. So let's consider this x is equal to empty curly brace. I am printing the type of x and getting the type as dictionary. So if I want to create an empty set, I have to use only the set constructor. Set1 is equal to set. I am printing set1 and type of set1. Here I am getting empty set which contains no element and type is given as set. And when we print the length, we are getting the length as 0 as it doesn't contain any element. Other than empty set, we can create a set containing elements with help of curly braces. So here we are creating a set called fruits with 4 elements. When we print the type of fruits, we are getting set as a type and ID of fruit is going to return the memory location and length of fruit is going to return the number of elements in the set. We can create even a heterogeneous set which contains elements of different types. Here set2 contains a string, integer, floating point number. That is also possible. And sets can't have duplicate elements. In this, I'm trying to create a set with totally 5 elements. If you consider 2 elements are having the same value, that is banana is repeated twice in the set. When I create the set and print, I'm getting only set with 4 elements. The reason is since banana is appearing twice, it is removed. So sets are not going to allow any duplicate value. And we can convert any sequence data type into set. Let's see how to create a set from a string, list, and then tuple, because all these are sequence data types. So first, I want to create a set from a string. For that, I am going to use a set constructor. As an argument, I am passing a string called fruit programming. Then set1 is created. When I am printing, I am getting all the characters in the set appearing. And if you consider this, m is appearing twice in this particular string, whereas in the set, m is appearing only one time. And all the individual characters are now treated as set members. And I can even create a set from a list. So here I am passing a list which contains 4 values to the set constructor, and set2 is created. When I print, I am getting the set which contains Java, C, Python, and C++. And when we create a set from a tuple, here also you can see the tuple contains duplicate element. I am trying to create a set by passing to the set constructor. When I print the elements of the set, after its creation, the duplicate elements are removed and we have a set only with unique elements. When we create sets, sets cannot have mutable items as its element. If you consider set 3, I'm trying to create with the 3 elements, 1, A, and then 2, 3. This 2, 3 is a list, which is a mutable data type. So when I try to create this set, I'm getting error because of this 2, 3 presence. It's saying that the error is type error, unhashable type list. We can print all the methods available for the set data type by means of dir. So print dir set is going to print all these methods. You can consider the list of methods provided for the set object. So all these are the built-in methods. Now we will see how to access the set element. As I already told you, the elements in the set are not ordered. Therefore, we cannot access the set elements with the help of the index. But we can loop through all the set elements using the for loop. And we can even check whether a value is present in a set by means of the in keyword. Let's see how to do all these things. I'm creating a set fruits. I'm trying to print the element at the index 0. And it is giving me type error, set object is not subscriptable. We cannot access the individual elements with the help of the index. Now let's see how to loop through all the elements in the set with the help of a for loop. The syntax is for a variable in the name of the set. Here it is fruits. Then I can print each and individual element by means of this variable X. When I do that, all the elements in the set are printed. And I can check whether a value is present in a set by means of in keyword. So here I'm trying to check whether apple is present in fruit set. Here apple is present in the fruit set, therefore it will be giving me true. And here I'm checking whether kiwi is present in fruits. It is not present, therefore the answer will be false. Now let's see whether it is possible to change value in a particular set. Once we create a set, we cannot change the value of individual elements that is present in the set. And we can add elements to the set. We can even remove elements from the set. To add elements to the set, we have two methods called update and then add. The difference between these two methods is the add method is going to add one element at a time to the set, whereas by means of the update method, we can add any iterable object like string, list, tuple, and so on. So first, let's consider the fruit set. I am trying to add kiwi to this set by means of fruits.add kiwi. When I print, the new set is created. Now you can observe one thing. The new element is not added to the end of the set because set is unordered. It can be ordered in any position. Because of that only, the indexing is not allowed in a set. So here only one element is added. I can even add a list of elements by calling the update method. So I am calling fruits.update. Here a list with the 3 elements is passed, which is nothing but strawberry, watermelon, and then apple. So all these elements are added to this existing set. And finally, we are getting the new updated set. And here the list is passed as the argument to the update function. We can even pass a collection. Here, consider this example. I have one element as a tuple and another element as another set. When I try to add with the help of update method, it is treating each and individual thing as separate elements and trying to add it. And if the element is already existing in the set, it will not be added. And we can remove the elements from the set by means of remove, discard, pop, clear, and del. Out of these things, del is a keyword. All the remaining are methods. So we have to call all these methods with the help of the object we have created. The remove method is going to remove the specified item. If the item is not existing in the set, it will throw an error. And discard method will remove an element from the set. And if the item is not existing, it will not raise any error. That is the difference between remove and discard. And if you consider pop, we are not going to pass any argument to this method. This will always remove the last element that is present in the set. Since set is unordered, we cannot determine which element will be removed with the help of pop. And clear method is going to empty the entire set. It will be returning as the empty set. And if you consider the del keyword, it will delete the set completely from the memory. In case of clear, it will clear all the contents, but the set will be still existing in the memory. We can add elements to that set later. Whereas in case of delete keyword, the set is completely removed from the memory. If you are trying to access the set after del, you will be getting an error. Let's see all these things now. First, I am printing the existing set fruits and all the elements are listed. Now I am trying to remove muskmelon. Muskmelon is present in the set and I'm able to remove it. After removing, I am printing the elements. You can check here, muskmelon is not present. And I'm trying to now remove butterfruit, which is not a part of this particular set. So remove method is going to generate now an error. Error is key error. It's saying that butterfruit is not part of this particular set. And since this is a method, we are calling the method with the help of the fruits object. When I call fruits.discard by passing banana, it is going to delete banana from the set and the remaining will be printed. Here banana is present in the set. Now I'm calling discard with the help of butterfruit as an argument. Here butterfruit is not present in the set. I'm not getting any error. It is simply returning the set. And when I call fruits.pop, it is going to remove the last element in the set and that will be returned to us. We can print it. So whatever is written, I'm storing it in a variable called X. I'm printing X. So here it is removing apple from the set. Now again, I am calling the pop method. In this, it is returning me kiwi. When I call fruits.clear, it is going to clear all the elements in the set. An empty set is printed after that. And you can add new elements to this set with the help of the update method. I'm adding 3 elements to this particular set. I can delete the entire set by calling del fruits. So here the set is containing 3 elements. It will be completely removed from the memory. After that, when I try to print fruits, I'm getting error. The error is name error. Fruits is not defined because it is completely removed from the memory. We can create copy of the set by means of the copy method. And here I am creating set1, and you can copy the contents of the set1 to set2 by means of set2 is equal to set1.copy. After that, I am printing the copied set. It is having elements same as the original set. And next, I'm trying to add a new element to the set1 by calling set1.add of 5. So in this, 5 will be added only to the set1, not to the set2. So when I print set1 and set2 after this particular statement, in set1, I am getting the new element added, that is 5 is added, whereas in case of set2, it is having only the existing elements 1, 2, 3, 4. So by means of copy, we are creating a shallow copy. So in this, 2 different memory locations will be created, and whatever changes we are doing in one set, that will not be reflected in the other set. In the next video, we will focus on different set methods.